Bienvenidos, clase. Today's lesson is on go verbs. Write that on your sheet of paper. Go verbs can be irregular because they don't follow the same normal conjugation patterns as regular verbs do. So you'll have to add the stem and an ending, a special ending, to make a go verb. So unfortunately, you'll have to memorize the endings that we'll go over here in just a minute. Go verbs. Go verbs are irregular in the yo form. So the last two letters will always end in go, hence the name go verbs. And then the rest of the verb, you just conjugate it normally. So second, third person singular and first person plural and third person plural will be the same as always. There are 4 go verbs that you need to remember. The first one is hacer. The meaning to that is to make or to do. Number 2 is poner, which is to put or to place. Number 3, traer, is to bring. And then salir is to leave. So we're going to talk about these 4 more in detail in just a minute. So the first verb that we have is to make or to do. Write your chart, the 6-plan format. Today we're going to skip vosotros. So let's start off with your first person singular. Yo hago. If you notice, the ending is go. Tú haces, es is your ending right there. Él, ella, usted hace with an e. Nosotros hacemos. Vosotros, we're skipping. Ellos, ellas, ustedes hacen with an en at the end. Poner is another go verb, which means to put. Write another chart on your sheet of paper. And the first one, we have first person singular, yo pongo, with a go at the end. Tú pones, es at the end. Él, ella, usted pone, y at the end. Nosotros ponemos, emos. Skip vosotros. Ellos, ellas, ustedes ponen with an en at the end. Traer, to bring, which is go verb number 3. Your chart, don't forget, draw your chart on your sheet of paper. And then you have the first one, first person singular, yo traigo, go at the end. Tú traes, so you have an es ending, again, because it follows the same ending pattern. Él, ella, usted trae, which you have an e at the end. Nosotros traemos, emos, at the end. Skip the second person plural. And let's go to the last one. Ellos, ellas, ustedes traen, en at the end. If you remember to add your go at the end of the yo form, and then you have your endings for the rest of the other forms, you'll be just fine. Salir, which is to leave. Again, draw your chart on your sheet of paper. First person singular, salgo. Second person singular, sales. Third person singular, sale. First person plural, salimos. Skip second person plural. Third person plural, ellos, ellas, ustedes salen. So remember, again, you have your go in the first person singular, your es, second person singular, third person singular has the e, first person plural has imos because it's an ir verb, and then you have an en ending for third person plural. Now, go verbs can also have stem changing in the actual verb itself. So let's go ahead and talk about those. And we have 2 that we need to remember. The first one is tener, which is to have. The second one is venir, which is to come or to arrive. So again, you have tener and venir, which are your only 2 stem changing go verbs that you'll need to remember. Here's a special note. Remember that both tener and venir have a stem change from an E to an IE. So on your sheet of paper, draw a boot, just like this one, and then have your your six plan format inside. Remember, the conjugations inside the boot indicate that there is a stem change. Everything else outside the boot, there is no stem change. So let's take a look at cerrar, which is to close. Cierro, cierras, cierra, and then cierran are the inside of the boot. It's an AR verb. This is why you have those endings. So o, as, a, and then an. And then you have cerramos and cerráis. Okay, and then there's no stem change. You have an AMOS ending, and then cerráis, which is an AIS, accent over the A. That's what normally would be with stem changing verbs. Now let's take a look at tener and venir. Tener. Yo tengo, tú tienes, él, ella, usted tiene, nosotros tenemos, ellos, ellas, ustedes tienen. And then don't forget to draw your six plan format chart. The other one, venir, which is to come or to arrive. Draw your chart. And let's look at this again. Yo vengo, you still have the go. There is no stem change. Tú vienes, él, ella, usted viene. Nosotros venimos, ellos, ellas, ustedes vienen. So if you look at this, the first person singular does not have a stem change, but everything else that's inside the boot does, which is tú, él, ella, usted, and then ellos, ellas, ustedes, and they have the stem change. So it is a little different. Now let's check to see if you know what go verbs are. So what is a go verb? Remember, go verbs are irregular in the yo form because they only end in go. Go. And so what are the four go verbs that we talked about in this presentation? Not the stem changing ones, the regular four. Okay, so the first one, poner. The second one, traer. The third one, salir. And then the last one is hacer. And so what are my two stem changing ones that we talked about in this presentation? Venir and traer. So remember those two. Okay, now skip a line and write práctica. We're going to look at some of these go verbs in sentences and see if you can conjugate the verb that's in parentheses and make it match with your subject. So the first one, yo blank un viaje. Pause the video, work it out, and then check your answer. Yo hago un viaje is the correct answer. Number two, ella blank un viaje. Hacer is the word in parentheses. Pause the video and work your sentence. The answer is ella hace un viaje. Number three, Ricardo blank de la fiesta. Salir is in parentheses. Make Ricardo match with the verb salir. Pause the video and work the sentence. The answer should be Ricardo sale de la fiesta. Number four, mi amiga blank su mochila. Your subject is mi amiga. Traer is your verb. Pause the video and change traer to fit with the subject of the sentence. Your answer should be mi amiga trae su mochila. Number five, nosotros blank libros en nuestras mochilas. Poner is your verb and make it match with nosotros. Okay, so pause the video and check your answer. The answer should be nosotros ponemos libros en nuestras mochilas. All right, that is the end of the lesson. If you are not sure about go verbs, rewatch the video and check again all the important points that we talked about. Now go ahead and start on the assignment in school.